and we got home from the hospital. I ordered vodka privately without my family knowing. And I took a swig like I did back in the day when I was an alcoholic right from the bottle. And it kind of calmed things for a second. And then boom. In my third eye, I saw this smoky hand bringing me down. And it was the Holy Spirit showing me that if you continue on this trajectory, this is going to kill you faster than the technology that's in you already. And that hand just is imprinted in my mind. I sent some literature to my friend who relapsed on alcohol about the spirit of alcohol. Illustration was that hand. It's a spiritual thing. And that you have to take it very seriously, and that we can't, that it's just one of those things that, yes, fun spirits can come through you, but also evil spirits can and dominate you. It deepens why I can't drink.
Yeah, you better. Cause you want this, I want this. Everybody in this world should have it. Stop illusions, it's in your hands. Show yourself, reveal it to them. Yeah, you better. Take the time to recognize it. You won't leave me even if I tried it. You're the artist, I'm the mess, and happily be found the new in your hands.
Jessica Sutta is a mother, singer, writer, shot injury advocate, and a former member of the international platinum award-winning pop group, the Pussycat Dolls. After suffering a severe injury from the shot in August of 2021, she dedicated herself to helping fellow victims and raising awareness for those who feel ignored and marginalized by society. As the creative director at React 19, a nonprofit organization that aids victims of shot injuries and their families in mourning, she remains steadfast in her advocacy work. Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Unlimited with Elisabeth Carson. Today I'm so freaking excited. I have been waiting for this interview right here. Literally, like I have just, oh my God, I saw you online and I was like, what is going on? And then I started watching your page and your stories and I'm like, oh my gosh, what? And I was like, I have to get her on my show. She has an amazing story, and just, you know, how you're putting yourself out there to be able to expose truth. It just shows me what type of person you are. And that's the type of person that I definitely love to engage with, share energy with, and just have, you know, out here like speaking truth. So thank you so much, Jessica, for being here with me today. It's an honor.
Honestly, it's an honor that you even asked me. I was blown away. I've been an admirer of you and your incredible brain and the way that you think. And yeah, I hate doing interviews, especially after what happened to me, because reliving what I went through, it gives me PTSD, and I just want it to be far behind me. But when you asked me, I'm like, oh my gosh, 100%. I can't wait. And I'm like even nervous right now.
Oh, thank you, because I mean, thank you so much for even, you know, watching, following, and, you know, some people have their opinions of me, and I'm glad that yours is good. So, you know,
if you have haters, you're doing something right, darling. That's
yes. Well, you know what? I really feel like haters are it's just a projection of what's really going on the inside. So honestly, I really take time to try to send those people so much love, because it's like they need it. Because I can't see myself going on other people's stuff and be like, man, you know, like I don't see it. I can't do that. I don't have that inside of me. So, you know, it's
beautiful.
just a reflection of the projection.
Amen to that.
Yes. So, Jessica, where do you come from? Tell us a little bit about you. I know you've had like a crazy story your whole life. So, just, you know, wherever you want to start.
Sure. Well, I was born and raised in Miami, Florida.
Hey.
Yep. I started dancing at the age of 3. And it was just my life. I had so much passion for it. I loved it. It was such a beautiful self-expression. And then it allowed me to go to magnet programs for middle school and then high school. I went to a high school called New World School of the Arts, where I majored in dance. And there was 400 students and 100 students in each class. And it was definitely a journey. There's so many things that I am so grateful to the school. It I didn't really have like a teenage years. I grew up really fast, you know. As
Uh-huh.
soon as I hit the ninth grade, it was on, and I started dancing in the industry, doing commercials. My first commercial was Head and Shoulders with Cheyenne. Muévete,
Uh-huh.
muévete. I was like, I'm Irish. I
Okay.
don't speak Spanish, so um, and I worked for a show called Sábado Gigante and a dancer for that. I had two dance teachers who were ex Chippendale dancers,
Okay.
and they hired me for their production company. And I started making money at a very young age and just like hustling. And yeah, it was awesome. So I grew up really fast. One of my first music videos was with Will Smith, My Welcome to Miami.
Uh-huh.
I remember when I auditioned for it, I was like, God, if this is the only job I get this year, you know, I'll be the happiest person alive. And I booked it, and he was such a sweetheart. And I'm the girl that kicks her leg. I kick, and then we like do a dip.
Mhm.
So it was really cool. And my mom actually had to be on set because I was 16 years old.
Mm.
So then when I turned 18, my mom was the happiest person because she didn't have to go to anything anymore. She's like, I can't do this. How do you like doing this? It was like take after take, but I just loved it.
Mhm.
After high school, I danced for the Miami Heat, and
Nice.
I was the captain the second year.
Nice.
I was a
Uh-huh.
huge basketball fan growing up. My two brothers, like, they turned me into a tomboy, even though I ran like a girl. And during that time, I was on a soap opera called Ocean Avenue,
Mm.
where I played a gothic teenager named Jodie Starr.
Uh-huh.
That was like the ugly duckling that turned into like the popular girl who sang in school and stuff.
Uh-huh.
And actually, you had a guest on a while back, Candace,
Mhm.
who played my nemesis, and she's like the sweetest person in the world. But we had so much fun together, and that's kind of how we connected, Elizabeth, because she was on your show. I
Uh-huh.
was like, oh my
Uh-huh.
god, two brilliant minds together! Oh my gosh, I love this so much. And
Yeah.
then, I saved up all my money, and I
Mhm.
moved to Los Angeles when I was 20 years old. I went out there to act, and
Mhm.
unfortunately, I am a terrible actress, like, real bad girlfriend, like, "Oh, okay, for a soap opera, fine," but, uh, I had to start dancing again, and, I got a dance agent pretty soon after I moved to Los Angeles. And my first job was with Smokey the Bear. It's a public service announcement to,
Mhm.
prevent forest fires. And we
Uh-huh.
were wearing tuxedo leotards with top hats and, like, putting out forest fires with our top hats.
Yes.
And the choreographer was Robin Anton, and she's the
Mhm.
creator of the Pussycat Dolls. And
Mm.
we hit it off on set, and she's like, Jessica, I want you to cut your bangs. I have this group called the Pussycat Dolls. I'd love for you to be a part of. The auditions are next week. I already know I want to put you here, so I want to put you next to girls. I'm like, great, that sounds awesome, right?
Uh-huh.
And they had just done Maxim. So there's a whole story, this whole separate thing I have to tell you about the Pussycat Dolls. And so I get to the audition, there was like 500 girls. It was so crazy.
Wow.
Yeah, it was insanity. And luckily I, made the cut. It was a year-long audition.
Uh-huh.
So it went from a cast of 50 girls to 20 girls to 10 to 6. And I made
Wow.
it to the 6.
Hey.
Yeah, girl. Don't You came out, and it changed my life forever. And it was
Mhm.
one of the most beautiful experiences I could have ever dreamt of. So, and the weird thing is, not to talk your ear out because I want to hear what you have to say. My mom called me Pussycat my whole life,
Wow, that just gave me chills. Okay.
right? Like,
Wow.
such a weird, like, nickname. Yeah. So she called me
Uh-huh.
Pussycat my whole life. So I was destined to be in the Pussycat Dolls.
Yes. Well, you know what? I really feel like this is like a matrix, right? In a game. And I feel like it's really just a programmed game. And so the alignments that happen and the things that show up in your life and like even that for instance, it's just like an introduction of the symmetry of like how your life is going to shift and be
Right.
inside of your game because it's just a programmed game in my opinion, you know?
I agree with you, and I've been seeing so much that we live in the matrix. There's too many coincidences where I'm like, "There's no coincidences. This is 100% a game."
Yeah.
And, yeah, gotta learn how to, I wouldn't say manipulate it, but understand it and use it for your
Yeah.
advantage, I suppose, right?
Yes, absolutely. And it is a type of manipulation because it's like you have to see above it, right? And then once you can see above it, you can place the pieces where they need to go. And then you can have the perspective of, okay, this is just a game. Like, and then it lightens up this life that's so hard and stressful. You know what I'm saying? It's like it just makes it a little bit easier to walk this path of this craziness that happens, right? So
That's for sure. That
so
is for
how
sure.
was that for you? Like, how was that? I mean, Pussycat Dolls was huge, like huge, huge. So how was that going from what you were doing to all of a sudden, boom, all of that attention? Because did you love it? Did it like mess you up mentally? Did you like, were you cool with it? I mean, how are you handling that?
All of that. It was all of that. It was incredible,
Uh-huh.
but I didn't like how people changed with me. Because very
Mm.
soon after Don't She came out, people changed with me. Even, like, family members were, like, nervous with me and invited neighbors over that we hadn't ever seen ever, and it was just, like, I didn't like that. I
Mhm.
didn't like the paparazzi. I just thought it was very invasive.
Mhm.
Later on in the fame, I had broken up with my boyfriend, and this paparazzi, I was at a bar with my friend crying, and they just got the whole thing, and it was just not,
Mm.
there's no boundaries, right?
Yeah.
But on the flip side, I mean, I live my dream. It's beautiful to have that attention, especially on stage. It's that energy exchange where you're just
Yeah.
like, there's no drug out there that can like top it. You know what I mean? It's just like this beautiful exchange, and especially when you see like the little girls looking up to you, like inspired to follow their dreams and to do it because
Yeah.
coming from Cutler Ridge, is a pretty small town,
Uh-huh.
like, it really showed me that dreams do come true if you
Yeah.
really work hard at it, and
Yeah.
you have it in your mind's eye, and I even told my mom, I had a little bit of an ego when I was younger, but I was like, "Mom, I'm gonna be famous, right?" Like, it's like I remember her saying that, she's like, "Yeah, Jess," 'cause I wanted it very badly, now I think now that I'm on the flip side older as a mom, I like to use my platform for the better good of humanity because
Yeah.
I do believe that it is a very self-absorbed, narcissistic way of life, and
Mhm.
fortunately, I'm not a narcissist, but when you're in the industry, they kind of, like, sculpt you into becoming a narcissist. So,
Mhm.
admittedly, I definitely had narcissistic traits when I was in the dolls, like, everything had to revolve around me and my friends. If something was happening to me, "Drop what you're doing, help me," and it
Mhm.
was really gross, and I regret a lot of my behavior, but thank God I was humbled to kinda
Mhm.
dismantle that personality that truly wasn't me.
Mhm.
Luckily,
Mhm.
I had a good heart underneath all of it, but
Yeah. Yeah. That must be like wild. So did you picture yourself when you were younger? So you always pictured this. So you created your reality, or did it kind of like, how did you call in this dream of yours and it to unfold for you?
I think I did manifest it in so many ways, with mom
Mhm.
calling me pussycat and me
Yeah.
having that dream because I was bullied. You talk about you were bullied. I totally understand. My
Mhm.
last name is Sutta. It rhymes with slut. So I was Jessica Sutta since the fifth grade,
Oh,
like I hadn't
yeah.
even kissed a boy before.
Mm.
So for me, the success was the most like it was the biggest revenge I could get,
Mm.
and I just
Mhm.
like I wanted it and I wasn't gonna give up on this dream, and moving away from my mom in Miami to Los Angeles, so far away, it was hard. It was really
Mhm.
hard, but
Mhm.
I just pushed forward and it all kind of worked out. But I
Yeah.
definitely believe I think I thanked the universe back then with not even knowing that that's how you do it, right? When you
Uh-huh.
manifest things, like, I pictured myself on stage. I
Yeah.
remember being, like, 11, I had a dance room my mom built me, and, I was there and I was in the mirror and, cut to when we were on tour at a sound check and a light hit me in my eyes and it took me back to when I was 11 in front of my mirror at 3 in
Uh-huh.
the morning, like, so I
Yeah.
definitely think that I had something to do with it. It wasn't just pure luck, and I
Yeah.
also loved it. I loved dancing and singing and acting, all of it, I always
Yeah.
wanted to entertain people.
That's so beautiful you say that because I was just having a conversation with my son. He's 13, right, playing basketball, and he's balancing school with basketball at this point. And it's like basketball is taking a lot of his time and he's not used to it because he's like an honor roll kid and has a lot of time to study, da 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 da. And so he's noticing the balance kind of go out, right? And I was like, don't quit basketball. I'm like, to be great, you have to give that extra oomph. You have to be that special person that can handle the balance, that can go hard, right? At everything. And you just said practicing at 3 a.m. in the morning.
Mhm.
So, I mean,
Yep.
it's that extra that you have to do. People don't see the work behind the scenes. They see the pretty shiny things, but they don't see everything it takes to get there, you
Mhm.
know?
For sure, especially like ballet. When I was doing point, I just have a vision in my mind of my mom was like pouring betadine on my feet, on my blistered feet. But the next day, I was ready to go back at it because when you have passion for something, it doesn't matter how much it hurts. It doesn't
Yeah.
matter how tired you are. You're not going to stop.
Well,
Mhm.
what's the craziest thing that you've ever seen, experienced in that point of your life? Like the most wild day that you had?
Oh man, we had a lot of wild times. Listen, Elizabeth, this is like pre-cell phone with cameras. Like
Uh-huh.
we took like being a rock star pretty seriously, and we were all very, very good at it. Um,
Uh-huh.
I guess like one of the the funnest times we had was in Paris. It was like right when bottle service was a thing,
Uh-huh.
and they people knew that we were there, so they kept on sending these magnum bottles of champagne, and it was like the Star Wars song. And so every time we hear the Star Wars song, we're all woo! And we like a couple hours later, we were, pretty drunk, and I guess we all were kissing. Bodyguards were there, and yeah, so it was wild. I definitely I loved all the girls very much.
Mhm.
That was one of the most wild. Maybe I should have kept that.
I love that. I love it. Life is life, man. You gotta
Yeah,
have fun, let go, and be you. You know what I'm saying? Every single moment. And it's just, I mean, that's how you make life fun, dynamic, authentic, and beautiful. Just
sure.
be you. And don't be afraid of like being you in front of the other people. It's like so many people and women especially conform so that they will be accepted by others so they can be appropriate for others,
Yeah.
and that kills us slowly inside. So
I
yeah.
wouldn't let go, and I used to be such a people pleaser, especially in my 20s, especially
Mhm.
when I was in the Pussycat Dolls. I so eager to please everyone, and it just, like, would give me the short end of the stick, and I would feel like shit,
Yeah.
or I wanted to be liked so bad. I thought it was so messed up if I wasn't, and,
Mhm.
I would dumb myself down to be liked.
Mhm.
And, that was biggest life lesson now that I'm like, "If you don't like me, I don't really care. I probably don't like you either." So, you know what I mean? Like, I'm cool with having one friend or no friends, I have
Uh-huh.
my partner, I have my son, but
Mhm.
the best thing about what has transpired is that I have a good relationship with myself. I don't hate myself
Mm. Love
anymore,
that.
you know?
Yeah.
So,
Anymore. So
anymore.
what happened? Like you found out that you hated yourself.
Oh,
So
yeah.
what was that? Like what happened?
I was just a self-saboteur, like, if
Mhm.
when things were really good, it was just I really just didn't think I deserved anything in relationships. I would always go to the men that would cheat or would be abusive because I felt like that's what I deserved.
Mhm.
My husband
Mhm.
now, I mean, I 10 years ago, there's no way I would have been like, "I deserve him. He's sweet and he's kind, he doesn't wanna fight with me, he trusts me."
Mhm.
It's like, "Whoa." Before I'd be like, "I don't deserve this. I'm gonna, sabotage this." And he's wonderful. But I, unfortunately, got into a relationship, and I don't blame him for this, my
Mhm.
ex-boyfriend, but, I'm an alcoholic, and, I just hated myself, so I would drink to get so far away from myself.
Mm.
And I believed in God, but it was so far away from God, right?
Mhm,
And I
mhm,
would just drink myself to numb, like, just even sitting still with myself, I couldn't do it.
mhm,
So I think
mhm,
that was one of the main things that destroyed me, mind, body, and soul, you know?
mhm.
But, I don't touch it anymore. It's been 8 years.
Oh,
Thank
congratulations.
you.
Congratulations.
Well,
That's beautiful.
it would have been 8 years, it's 4 years, but we can go into that story when we talk about the injury, but
Oh,
I did have a spiritual awakening with it, so
mhm.
but now
Yes.
every day it deepens why I can't touch that molecule.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. That's deep, man. I mean, I was all about it back in the day. I thought I was the biggest extrovert, the life of the party. I'd be on
Right.
tables, I was the fun drunk.
It's
So, to be able to put that away and live this sober life, I'm like, oh my God, I'm introverted and I really don't like being around people like that. Like, you know?
the same way, oh my gosh. I know, it's that external validation that I was seeking, and I
Yeah.
just needed to meet myself and, like, forgive myself and, like, love myself, not in an ego
Mhm.
way, but respect myself, you know?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. So, what was that point for you? Like you said, spiritual awakening. What was
Yeah.
that point that was like boom? And then was it happen overnight? Was it kind of like gradual? How did your awakening happen?
Well, I'll go into, like, my injury, but basically, when I got sick, I had an adverse, reaction. When I went to the hospital, I had already been diagnosed with an adverse reaction by my neurologist. It
Uh-huh.
was in March 2022. Ended up in the hospital in May, and 'cause, I was what happened was I was burning in my rib cage and it was ripping and roaring through my rib cage and up and down my spine. My brain felt like it wasn't mine anymore. I felt like my head was off. I mean, every inch of my body hurt, my skin, my joints, my muscles,
Oh my God.
everything. It was so horrible that to the point where I'm like, I need to go to the hospital. I need them to have this just stop. Please make this stop. So they knew about my diagnosis. And when I first got there, they searched my bag. So they started treating me really weird. And they ran all these tests and nothing indicated anything. And they weren't doing the right proper testing now that we
Mhm.
know now. And so they're like, "Oh, well, we wanna give you a talk about addiction," right? And I was like, "I know all about
Mm-mm.
addiction, I'm an alcoholic," and that was the worst thing I could have done. And they, stopped feeding me, stopped giving me water, treated me like a prisoner. It was
What?
disastrous, and I was there for 20 hours. I had to do a spinal tap, and it was so horrible, and they wouldn't stop the pain. So I did what I knew to do, right? And we got home from the hospital. I ordered vodka privately without my family knowing. And I took a swig like I did back in the day when I was an alcoholic right from the bottle. And it kind of calmed things for a second. And then, boom, in my third eye, I saw this smoky hand bringing me down. And it was the Holy Spirit showing me that if you continue on this trajectory, this is going to kill you faster than the technology that's in you already. And that hand just is imprinted in my mind. And just recently, I sent some literature to my friend who relapsed on alcohol about the spirit of alcohol.
Uh-huh.
Illustration was that hand. I get my goosebumps thinking about it. I mean, it's like,
What?
and so it showed me that it's a spiritual thing
Uh-huh.
and that you have to take it very seriously and that we can't, that it's just one of those things that, yes, fun spirits can come through you, but also evil spirits can and dominate you. And
Yeah.
each day that goes on, and it's been 4 years, it would have been 8 years. I wish it was 8 years, but
Mhm.
progress, not perfection, right?
Mhm.
Um, it it deepens why I can't drink, and I'm not envious of people because I ended up in rehab 8 years ago, And I would still fantasize about drinking wine or having a martini and watch other people having so much fun. And I was like the life of the party. So I thought I was fun and funny, and I had just lost that, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
And then I didn't like myself back then. So I didn't like
Mhm.
myself. So I'm like, not even want to be around people, right? So
Right.
it was still like kind of a fantasy in my mind. But the vaccine injury actually made me realize that no, can't do that, and you have to transcend, and it changed me completely.
Holy forking shirt balls. I'm sitting here like, what? Oh my God, I have so many questions. Okay,
Yeah,
okay. I love that you said alcohol is a spirit
mhm,
because literally what it does is it completely shuts off like your thinking mind and you're just pure, like you're out of body, right? So anything can come through, and that's so freaking true. Anything.
anything, and
And things can attach. And when they attach to you, I mean,
mhm,
once that darkness attaches to something within you, it can grow and grow. And then you can just like be gone. Like I've watched people fall into the darkness and become just like soulless
yep,
avatars.
avatars,
Yeah.
100%.
Yes. Oh my God.
Mhm,
So when drinking got bad for you,
mhm.
how were you able to like walk and turn the other way? Like for people that are out there that may be trying to drink, quit drinking now. I mean, how were you able? Because you know what, I did it, and there's a weird. I know what you mean. Like there's a weird time when you start to figure out who you are soberly, and it's like you're awkward. Like everything is awkward because you don't know how to act without the alcohol. You don't know how to engage or be social without it. So like how were you able to shift and quit and just move forward with your life?
It just got so bad, Elizabeth, and to the point where, in my blackout, I haven't really told anyone this story, but I am an open book when it comes to this. I tried to cut my wrist. Yeah, I cut my
Mm.
wrist with, I don't know if my intentions were to kill myself, but it was definitely a place where I felt like a spirit had taken over me in my blackout, and I, like, cut my wrist with a scissor.
Oh
Yeah,
my God.
and, few months before that, I had tried to quit because this is terrible, but, I did a show and blacked out and almost got into a fight with a 6'5" drag queen. Yeah.
Oh man.
That's bad. So I was I know, it's funny now. I went to the, AA the next day, like, after it happened, and I was so mortified, and I told them the story, and there was, like, a roar of laughter, like, but, I yeah, that it was scary. All I remember is the eyelashes kind of hovering over me. So, I
Oh,
don't know. I don't know who it is, and I'm sorry, they wouldn't accept my call the next day. So, it was just getting worse and worse and worse, and then to the point where the spirits that were taking over me wanted me gone. They
mm,
wanted me gone. They didn't want me to have a beautiful life.
yeah.
They didn't want me to experience having a baby. They didn't want me to no. They wanted it's a low vibrational energy spirit.
Mhm.
So that's it. It was just enough. I've had enough.
Yeah.
When are you gonna start, like, loving yourself again? So,
Mhm.
with the power of the Holy Spirit, it helped me, you know?
Yeah.
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 And the program was, incredible at that time for me. Mhm.
Mhm. Good. Good. What practices did you continue to do afterwards to stay sober and away from that?
I think it was just community was super important to me, because the
Mhm.
meetings were awesome.
Mhm.
Dance I started dancing again, ballet, I
Mhm.
did, like, ballet bar, love yoga, hiking when I lived in Los Angeles, it was, like, my favorite thing to do ever.
Yeah.
So, just being in nature and going to Joshua Tree, like, going to the desert and just, like,
Yes.
laying on the ground and feeling, like, the Earth's heartbart.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah, I think it was just
Mhm.
being with nature and just really surrounding myself with amazing people, and lucky I met my husband in sober living. We met
Oh, awesome.
yeah,
Mm.
and he was on the same path, and we fell madly in love with each other, and we've been together, gosh, 8 years now.
Wow.
Yeah,
Beautiful.
7.5 years.
Dang. I love that.
I know.
Nature is perfect. We are not. I always tell people, be more like nature. And if you feel
Yeah,
bad, go in nature.
for
Yeah.
sure.
Yes. So, okay, let's get into the nitty gritty here.
Yeah.
So, I have so many questions.
Yeah.
What made you decide to go get I'm gonna call it Maxine, to go get the
Yes.
Maxine?
Yes. The Maxine. Well, at first I wasn't going to get the Maxine because my gut told me, wait till you see, like,
Yeah.
results from, it's new. It just doesn't feel right. In fact, my husband went to get it before me, and I was supposed to go with him, but I was like, no, I'm not going to go. I just had my son. He was about 3 months old, and I
Mm,
was very much entranced into like news, and I would watch everything and believe
mm,
everything they had to say. I didn't
mm.
think they would lie, right? And one of the reporters said, you need to protect your child. Like, you're a bad person. You don't go do this, And
Yeah.
so I went to CVS that day and basically, destroyed my health on my own accord.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
yeah, it was bad.
So, when did your symptoms start showing up?
So 3 days after I got the first shot, I woke up with a muscle spasm in my right flank that felt like a knife.
Uh-huh.
And as I got up, I felt like my head was in the clouds, like brain fog, like you wouldn't believe. And I didn't know what was going on. And I'm a dancer. So I told my husband, I think I might have slept on my back weird. I'm going to go to the chiropractor. So I started going to chiropractor, acupuncture, doing all these things. And this muscle spasm would not leave my body. And I'm just like, what is going on? So I get on Google and, postpartum, there's a list of things that can happen, right? So I'm like, oh
Mhm.
gosh, it's an organ. Like, so I ended up in the hospital. They performed a CAT scan, blood tests, all of it, EKG, nothing indicated anything. So they sent me home with antibiotics, and believing in the vaccine, I got the second shot following week.
Oh,
And that was it. That was it. And that's when my health was ripped from me. They thought I had transverse smolitis, MS. I developed head jerk, leg jerks, a tremor, a stutter.
oh my
Um,
God.
I was here, it's like you have like the phantom crying. It was phantom crying to like times 1,000. And I was hearing things in the other room, people talking and stuff. I mean, it hijacked my entire body.
Oh my
Exactly.
God.
It was awful. It was
So, okay, then you go back to the hospital, right? And then
Yep,
they treat you like crap.
yep.
What did they do? Did they dismiss you like that time?
Yeah, they had art. So I refrained. So what happened was, once I got the muscle spasm out, the burning started in my rib cage and it ripped through. Like, it was like 9 months of this, Elizabeth. It was insane.
9 months.
Yeah, and I was staring at the ceiling like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna die. Like, everything I've ever wanted, I have now. And all of a sudden, what is going on with me? No one has any answers. So, anyway, so I went to rheumatologist and I said, hey, my husband showed me this video the other day of these women that had adverse events to the vaccine. And, it was like a dear Pfizer, dear Pfizer, dear Pfizer. And I didn't want to look at it. My husband was like, I think it might be this. And I'm like, babe, I please, like, no, it's something else. Yeah. So the rheumatologist laughed, rolled her eyes, and said, impossible, right? So I'm like, okay. So anyway, I ended up going to a neurologist in March of 2022, and he said, "Oh yeah, it sounds like you had an adverse reaction, and don't get another vaccine, and don't get sick." Like that was the advice. And I'm like, "Well, what does this even
What?
mean, right?" And I was like, "How many people in your office have it?" He's like, "About 50." I'm like, "Dang, that's a lot in a practice, right? It doesn't seem so rare." So when I went to the hospital, they had already seen the diagnosis, and I don't know if this was a part of the psyops, because I do believe it was a weapon. I mean, I lived it on a molecular level. I hate to say it. Uh,
Mhm.
so I just think it was part of the psyops, a part of just the gaslighting, a part of we don't know what to do, or maybe
Mhm.
it's not as evil as that. But I think the people behind this are not great people. So I hate to say it.
Look,
Maybe it was
so
because some of the batches were contaminated, maybe blah, blah, blah. But I've met scientists because I did thorough investigations on this, and I've looked in the eyes of Judy Mikovits, who is the one of the lead scientists next to Fauci, who told me flat out they've known since 1986 that mRNA does not work. It causes all these ailments. They've known since then.
oh my God. So I'm looking because my social media manager today just sent me this article. Rothschild patient for COVID-19 testing filed in 2015.
Yeah.
So there was a whole thing in this is my opinion, and I don't, I'm just a person. What do I know? But from what I've seen and everything, it was all planned. All of this was planned. It was planned to lower population, to spit fear into everybody so that they could start being controlled again, because it was like the control was kind of getting a little uncontrolling, right? So they started to just push this fear, 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 fear. And look how much happened from that. I mean, families, like divorce, I mean, abuse went up because of the stay at home. And then think about it. It's like these doctors, you're telling people to stay inside, to bleach everything, wear gloves, and all of it. That lowers your immune system. You're making yourself sick to stay inside. The thing that heals us is the sun. We need vitamin D to be able to, our immune system to function properly. And they're telling, it's just like the whole thing was just, you got to pull out the scope and look down on it. You know what I'm saying? For people that still believe in this type of stuff. And it just, I have no words.
It's crazy that there's still so many people still getting it and define, like Bobby Kennedy, he said, I don't recommend it. And all these liberal women are like, okay, I'm going to go get it. And there's, downing Tylenol and, like, it's like, oh my gosh, you guys wake up,
Wake up.
My mom died from the vaccine and she knew it was from the vaccine. She suffered. She was about 90 pounds when she died, and it was like 4 months ago, I'm gonna cry.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. I don't mean to bring it up, but I don't want her death to be in vain, and that's why she was very proud of me when I spoke out. But here's the thing: she told me to get the vaccine, and I told her to get the vaccine. It's like it was that we didn't know,
Yeah.
But it's so confusing to me that people are not seeing what I'm seeing. I mean, I've lived it on a molecular level. I work in advocacy. I'm the creative director for React 19. It's a nonprofit for the COVID vaccine injured, amazing human beings, that do this. And I see it's not rare in my world, but even if you look on it, all the deaths, people in their 40s having cancer, Parkinson's, and like, hello.
Yeah. Sudden deaths. You know what? The first thing I started noticing was all of these college students, these athletes, all of a sudden just dropping dead on fields while they're playing the sport that they're playing. All of a sudden, myocarditis. Like,
it's crazy.
What?
Yeah, and they're just like, oh, it's a strenuous sport. I'm like, it's always been a strenuous sport. This is not why are we normalizing this? This is insanity. Yeah. I mean, I've looked in the eyes of people that lost their kids, man, and it is, that's why I do what I do. That's why I use my platform for the greater good of humanity. And I'm sure it pisses off my boss, my ex-boss, just not thrilled, but I'm sorry. I got too sick and I don't want this to happen to anyone else. And people look at me like I'm the bad guy. And I'm like, no, you don't understand. I've sacrificed my reputation and my career because I laid in my bed staring at the ceiling like, holy shit, I feel like I'm going to die. This can't happen to kids. This can't, you know what I mean? And that's where I'm at with it,
God. Do you still have feelings? Like, how did you come back from that? Did it all of a sudden stop one day? Like, what happened? How did you get yourself back?
Well, it's been almost 4 years, a little over 4 years, but I just did stem cell therapy at CPI Stem Cells in Mexico. when I spoke out, Joe Rogan actually followed me, which was like, oh my gosh, Joe Rogan. And he connected me with this man named Ed Clay, who owns CPI Stem Cells. And I wasn't able to do it because I had a blood clotting disorder in the beginning. And once that resolved itself, I was able to go. And I am so happy to tell you that I have a success story. I am finally back to myself, not the dumbass me that would believe everything. You know what I mean? It's like the more evolved me with pain that, I mean, I still have it in my rib cage. What happened was what they found is it reactivated Epstein-Barr, like chicken pox, and it triggered internal shingles. So I had internal shingles in my whole rib cage. And
Oh my God.
it like I have severe nerve damage. So I wasn't in my head. It wasn't like, you know what I mean? And the stem cells have been transcendental for me, and I could feel it working. You know, after the treatment, which was like 2.5 months ago, 3 weeks after, it was hell. I mean, it goes to all inflammation or any damaged parts to repair it. And then it also like accentuated the grief of my mother. And I ended up going to grief counseling one night and talking about my mom, and I was about 20 feet away from my car, and all of a sudden my car turned on, and I knew it was her, and I could feel her because anytime I've had like experiences with the other side, I get goosebumps, and I had it all over my face, and I actually had to tell her like, "Mom, you're freaking me out. This is awesome," but you know. And then, and then the next day, the pain started alleviating, and it's deepened, and now I'm finally working out again. I'm not like in bed right now. I mean, I have a heating pad. I still use my heating pad, but I'm able to have these conversations with you and not feel like complete and utter shit. You know what I mean? Because I did feel like 100-year-old. I was like the oldest 43-year-old there ever was. You know, so.
God. It's yo, it makes like it burns inside of me. Like I want everyone to know, like I can't believe it's still legal to even give it still.
Yep.
Excuse me? Like I'm confused.
Yep. It's a crime. It's disgusting. I got a reminder from CVS the other day. You need to get your flu and COVID shot. Do not get the double whammy ever. I mean, everything's mRNA, and unfortunately, the lipids are too toxic for human use. They knew it since 1986, you know? So, yeah.
You know what? It's like I watched. So my mother, she's very inside the matrix. She's been in politics. Like she's very, stapled inside of what the system is, right? And she thinks I'm crazy, which is fine. We're like best friends. I get it. But she like begged me to get it. She begged me to get it for my son. And she went and got like 4 or 5 of them. And ever since she got it, it's like I've seen her age about 10, 15 years. It's like I'm watching her, like the aging process is just because before it was like she was pretty normal, but now I'm seeing the decline. And that's why I'm not against Western medicine. I'm against the systemized manipulation that they put a dollar sign on everybody's head just to get some money from people. They capitalize off our health. That's what I'm against.
Yeah.
Because it's like they take any opportunity. I mean, they ruined my family's life, to be honest. Like they missed the thing with my brother. My brother had his kidney failed. He's, got a kidney from my mom, is on 100 different prescription medicines. He's been on dialysis for 10 years. Like he's looking for a kidney now. It's just the most wild thing for me to watch because I'm like, you guys don't see what's happening here, and they're so systemized inside of it. And so it's like this stuff burns inside of me. My dad, he died from knee surgery.
God.
How you die from knee surgery? You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
Excuse me,
It's malpractice. I'm so sorry.
Girl, that's why just this stuff, like, I just wish that, like you said, it's like that people could just see what you see, and see all these stories and see all of these things. I just don't understand how so many people are still so stuck into it and believe in it so much, without doing research. Just do the research.
Well, that would be misinformation doing research, right? It's like insane, the psyops, right? It's like you can come with all these facts. Robert Malone talks about it the best, of fifth generational warfare, where you can provide facts, they still can't see it. And I came with all, I went and did, I mean, I used my brain and went to all the scientists, used my platform to get into these meetings and to learn. And I knew early on it was causing turbo cancer. And I tried to tell people, and the next thing that comes out of their mouth is, hey, we're going to go get that booster shot next week, because I'm the crazy one. So I do believe that the technology does attack the frontal lobe. I mean, I don't know, I'm not a scientist, but I do believe that it dulls the brain, and it just makes you so susceptible and a sheep and so malleable.
Yes. Yes. This is crazy. So this just happened maybe a month ago. My mom goes and gets checked for skin cancer all the time. And some of these things are cancerous, but they're usually easy to just remove. She had a cancerous thing on her shin or something. Do you know what the doctor said to her about that? Because she was like, why would I get it here? And this is not the area that's exposed to the sun hardly. And the doctor was like, oh, well, you probably got it there since you were a little kid, since you were running around as a little kid in shorts. I'm like, excuse, what? What? Okay, let me just shut my mouth, because you know what? When people are so blind to it, they don't want to see it. So I've stopped trying to convince and just be like, come on to people,
Right.
because honestly, it's like people have their own journeys. And as sad as it is, it's like you can't change these people, you can't change people who have so much trust inside of that, right?
I went to a healer soon after with a family member that did not want to believe that this was an adverse reaction. And I told the guy, hey, I was diagnosed with this. And he goes, well, which arm did you get it in? And I said, the left. He goes, well, if you got it in the right, you would have been just fine. I was like, huh? And then he proceeded to tell my friend that I went that the reason why she got breast cancer was because she played tennis and that it was hitting her breast.
Okay.
I believed it. I was just like, no, you're like a smart person. Like, stop it. I love you. I don't want the, Yeah. Yeah.
I do understand, I guess. Everybody has their own journey. I really try to let go of my judgment upon, people's perceptions of this reality. I
Right.
really try to let go of that. But it's like, I just don't, the veil, it's like, it's right in front of you. I mean, think about it. They've spent trillions of dollars trying to heal and fix cancer, but still nobody can fix cancer, even though I'm not a doctor, nor do I ever claim to be. I don't have certifications. I don't have the licenses in being a doctor. So this is just from my own research and opinion. But oxygen, hyperbaric. I mean, I literally, there's a place down the street that this lady had like it was bad cancer. Like she was on her deathbed, basically. Started doing hyperbaric every day. Boom. Now she's better. It's in remission. That's weird.
They don't want you to know that, though. They want you to go to the chemotherapy. They don't want to talk about diet. They don't want to talk about that it's over toxicity of the lymph nodes and to get that drained and to, because I'm not against chemotherapy. I don't know. But I feel like that you can pair it with certain things, as that's not the answer.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people that are against chemo. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what I would do if I had cancer. And luckily, I don't have cancer. But I was scared.
Yeah.
I was scared that I did, yeah.
God, just being like in that feeling and just like fear of death. Like, and you said 9 months you were suffering in bed, like you couldn't. Because think about it. Okay, they say that shingles is the most painful thing that a person can get, and you had it on the inside.
I had it on the inside, my rib cage. Yep. I lost 50 pounds in 3 months. It was like all my baby weight went. And I lived in Hollywood at the time, so they're like, wow, you look great. What are you doing? I was like, I got the COVID shot. Just go to the local CVS. You can have this too. Like my body's eating itself. Feels great, and it was crazy. I was gone. I mean, it was absolutely terrifying. And no one believed me. My husband did, right? My mom did, but everyone else, I was like, all of a sudden, the Trumper and all I'm like, this is not a political thing. This has nothing to do with politics. This is
Oh
a
my God.
humanitarian crisis, period, you know? And
Well,
that you
that's what
speak
they
out,
want.
yeah, that you speak out and then you're all of a sudden homophobic, transphobic. I'm like, no, I actually care about humanity more than you think.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it was so crazy because during that time, it was like they put remember the antis and then the ones that were to like at odds. And it
Right.
was like if you didn't fights, I'm talking like massive amounts of fights. People got fired, just even the boss that I was working with this company interviewing for, it was like a big magazine company, and the owner was like, "Oh, you're listening to the antis and blah, 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 and you're not. It's a crime. It's a crime." And I,
That's it.
I was like, "Look, I just, I would like more research before I put something inside of my body." You know what
Right.
I'm saying? Like that. I just, there's not enough research yet. They came up with this in how many months?
Right. Right.
Mm-mm. I just,
Well,
whew.
they
And
knew
then, and
about
then
yeah, they knew the technology didn't work though since the 80s. So Operation Warp Speed, that guy, he says he's so proud of it, but I'm like, nah, you're just like not very smart. I mean, you are smart, but this is like, ugh, don't be proud of it.
oh my
Don't
God.
hate
And
it, but
it,
mm,
so, okay, working within the places that you work now, and then speaking to so many people who have gone through the same thing as you, I
yeah,
mean, you've seen like things bad happen to children too. Like,
yeah,
oh my,
devastating. Actually, one of my dearest friends lost his kid to myocarditis, and it's
no,
today is the anniversary.
no.
Yeah, so Ernest, such a sweet man, and uh, he got the shot before his son, and he was fine. He's like, "Okay, you can get this," and 6 days later, after the shot, he went to go play basketball and fell on the basketball court, and he was
No,
an athletic young 16-year-old, right?
no.
Hmm. Yeah. They're finally listing that as a side effect now, It's like they have to list it. Bobby Kennedy, who I absolutely adore, I was actually on his presidential campaign when he ran for president.
Uh-huh.
That was an interesting, experience because I've never been political in my life, and there I
Uh-huh.
am, like, speaking at these rallies, like, I'm usually a caricature of myself. I'm a pussycat doll,
Uh-huh.
Jessica, like, talk like, I'm like, "Ugh, I don't know what to do with my hands," like, I don't know. So, it was, yeah,
Man.
I don't know my hands, but yeah, so Bobby, he's kicking ass out there, but so much he can do in Washington, but that's, it's listing the side effects, so,
Yeah.
um,
Yeah. Do you know that Florida is the first state to cancel the ones that you have to get for school for the children?
it's
Yeah.
such an incentive to move there. I wish Tennessee would follow suit, but they do respect religious exemption as opposed to
Mhm.
California. That's why we moved, 'cause we lived in Los Angeles, I live in Nashville now.
Uh-huh.
We fled because they do not respect, religious exemption, and I was never a religious person, but things have changed for me. They
Uh-huh.
really have, because Christ is a very important figure in my life,
Yeah.
and the way that they actually make vaccines are through fetuses, aborted
Yeah.
fetuses. So, the fact that that's not respected for someone who's religious that doesn't believe in abortion,
Yeah. Yeah.
it's a crime, and it's just mandated, and we don't even know if the products actually work. I think there's more harm than good.
Well, you can actually even go to the CDC website and you can pull up all of the ingredients that are inside of these different ones.
Right,
And you can see for your own eyes the ingredients that are there that
right,
are extremely toxic. So it's like, why?
right.
Why?
It's wild, and in fact, my friend Del Bigtree, just did a film. It's called An Inconvenient Study. And basically, it's the study of unvaccinated and vaccinated children. And it's unpublished because it shows that the unvaccinated children are healthier than the vaccinated. And this is a Henry Ford Medical Institution, one of the top lead scientists. And it's a groundbreaking film. But when they found out the study was out and the guy was going to publish it, Dell brought a hidden camera and recorded the whole thing. So it is all on camera. And he's stating, yes, I know how important this study is, but I just don't want to release it. I don't want to lose my job. I don't want to lose my reputation. Like the lives that this man could save, but he's too selfish. And that is why I spoke out, Elisabeth, because I was in treatment with celebrity, like real celebrity. I was in a girl band 20 years ago. Like I don't have the platform these women had, and they weren't going to do a damn thing. And I just like looked around. And I'm like, where's humanity gone, man? Like, honest to God, like you guys are so sick. One of them actually has cancer right now. Like, you know how many lives you could have saved, but their reputation was more important, and their careers in Hollywood were way more important than a human life. And to me, I don't want my son to know his mom that way. I want him to know she stuck up for what was right.
Yeah.
I want him to be the same way.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like, I just interviewed Dr. Brian Artis, and I'm so grateful that he came on and just spit the bombs after bomb after bomb after bomb after bomb. Thank you. Because I will always, no matter what, because truth is so much more important. Humanity is so much more important. Right. than anything else. But you know the problem. So I attended one of these disclosure events in DC. And at one of these events, it was these guys, right? And you could tell that they really had these experiences. It was these three guys that were like special ops, super like, special, like super high up in government, and saw things that they were not supposed to see. And, all of a sudden one gets his neck broken. Then his dad gets gone, right? Where's his dad? He never even found out where, that things start happening to them and their families. And then as we, continued in this conference and disclosure, it was like, these people, there are so many people who have come out in the past, maybe 50 years with these devices that provide energy for free, right? Like just free energy. And those people, as soon as they file for a patent, boom, get gone. Boom. Right. Oh, weird death. Boom. And then their family. And then it's like, there's, it's scary for some people to get out here and do these things, and go against these hugely scary corporations that run everything. But it's like, if we're not doing that, then what are we doing exactly? Even if you have to risk it all, like, what are we doing exactly? Right. Because at the end of the day, if you just sit quiet, then there will be no change. And if there will be no change, then we'll just keep getting ran like sheep through these systems that are just really trying to control us. And we're dollar signs. That's it.
Right. For sure. For sure. And, the thing of where I feel safe about speaking out about injury is that there's too many of us.
Yeah.
There's too many of us. I'm not just like the only person like, hey, there are too many of us, and they can try to censor us, but it's just someone knows someone that is either passed or had an adverse reaction to the vaccine. It's like, okay, so I feel safe in that. And with Bobby in there, I feel a lot better, but I'm not suicidal. You know what I mean? Like, but I do believe that when I speak out, I'm speaking from love and for solution, right?
Yeah.
And because, Mr. Operation Warp Speed, I don't think he's going to look at COVID vaccine injury. I don't think he will. I really don't. So that's why React 19 comes into play. And I just want to just say to anyone that's out there listening, that if you are injured and you're having financial trouble with medical bills and stuff, React 19 is giving grants out for medical. It's amazing. Go to react19.org and you can apply for the grant. And they've given out, I think, about $1 million now to people that have needed it. Because, we don't have vaccine compensation programs that are that work. The VAERS system is all wackadoodle, everything's underreported. But it's taking we the people to really, take care of each other. So
Yes. Yes, absolutely. How many people do you think that there are that this has happened to? Because they censor it. I mean, people don't
yeah,
know. I mean, look, my mother still don't know. She's still like, go get it. I'm like, please stop
yeah.
saying that. But so I mean, how many do you think, like percentage wise, of people?
Well, including the deaths. It's interesting because I feel like, don't quote me on this, but I feel like Bobby was talking about this recently, and I think it was like 15%.
Mm, that's a huge freaking risk. And then when you're seeing, like, I just, ugh,
Mm,
I see the difference because everybody around me got it, you know? I
yeah,
mean, my family, my my
yeah,
whole family got it. My kid's dad, you know? And I see the difference. It's like something changes in their energy, something changes in the personality. And then I'm watching, what I told you what is happening to my mother. And I'm watching these things from the outside looking in, and it's
right,
like they can't see it, you know?
right. Well, the technology crosses the blood-brain barrier. That's the virus itself too, and that's where you lose taste and smell. So it
Yeah,
has to be changing you neurologically. And what they do say is that it disconnects you from God because it attacks the frontal lobe.
yeah.
And I see
Well,
that. It's like people are so angry. They're more angry now. It's like, chill out. Like,
yeah,
you know?
yeah. Well, it does. It attacks your limbic system. It attacks the regions of your brain. I mean, Dr.
Mhm.
Daniel Amen has done over 300,000 SPECT scans. So he's seen over 300,000 scans of brains, and he sees what the virus has done to a brain. And it
Right,
literally lights up your fear center, and that runs you, right?
right,
So of course people are going to be more angry, reactive, and crazy, because if that part of your brain is lit up and then this is shut off, all
right,
you're doing is reacting.
right. And then you're watching the TV, you're watching news, and
Oh,
it's crazy to me. But I pray for humanity. I truly do. I hope they don't learn the hard way like I did, you know?
uh-huh. Well, I'm just I like, oh my God, just thank you so much for what you're doing and just being so authentic and honest and out here and really taking initiative for doing the right thing. I mean, you probably are saving lives, You're making people rethink this, look deeper into it, therefore saving lives. And that's a beautiful thing.
Thank you.
Beautiful. So thank
Yeah,
you so much for what you're doing. This is just it's I get so fired up about this stuff because it's just so wrong. And it's like we don't have to live like this. We could be living with free energy. Everyone could have food on their tables. Everybody could have a house. Everybody, there's so many resources on this planet. We could all be living in a beautiful world where we're just sharing our creativity. We're not having to stomp forward and just follow these systems of things that are trying to manipulate and take us. And we shouldn't be sick. We should not be sick. We were born with these intelligent, beautiful systems that can support and sustain itself, but we just cover with toxins. And then we got toxins in our food, dyes in the children's. Look, just
I
can't.
know. I
It's
know. Our
insanity.
God-given immunity was a beautiful gift, and we are brainwashed to think otherwise.
Yeah, that we have to depend on somebody outside of yourself to tell you about yourself. I always tell people, no, know more about your body than anybody else knows about your body, so you can't be manipulated by these things, right?
For sure.
Oh
And
my
turn off
goodness.
the news. They are not
Oh
your friend.
God. I just never watched that. Please never watch that. Oh my goodness. It's like people, yo, stop stressing yourself. You're creating inflammation and disease in your body when you're literally sitting there like watching all these things that are creating all of this stress in your body, like
Right.
cortisol to the T. Like, come on.
Totally.
Stop.
100%.
Girl, it's like we got to focus on what we can control. I didn't even know that there was a whole like this is how far out of the whole system I am. I didn't even know there was a whole shutdown happening. Like I live
Oh, yeah,
so
yeah. Yeah,
deeply in my little bubble. Like I create
right,
my little reality that I have, and I focus exactly inside of that to try to, reach people outside of that. But I have to be in here because if I'm out here, oh my God, I'd just be fainting all day. Like, oh, I can't believe this. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. I'll be
yeah,
like falling out here. if I was paying attention.
You're so smart. What I will say is the government shutdown stopped the chemtrails, but now that it's back on, we had streaks in the sky here.
Look, can somebody just like, come on.
Yeah.
Everybody needs to wake up so we can go just stop participating. You know what I mean? Like, that's how we win together. It's like, how do we fix it? Stop participating in it, you know?
Exactly.
But you got to get that many people. That's why, like, my main goal in life is to shift the collective consciousness, to tip it over to the other side. Because once it's tipped over, we can't be manipulated.
Right.
Impossible.
Many of us.
Exactly. So where can people find you? How can people support you? I'm gonna put this everywhere. I'm putting this on all the channels. These shorts going everywhere, girl. Shit.
You're so sweet, Elisabeth. Thank you so much for having me. Twitter, I'm not really on it, but J Sutta, and Instagram, I am Jessica Sutta. I'm going to be doing projects down the line now that my health is better, but, I'm focusing on being a mommy. So yeah, react19.org. If you are injured and you need financial assistance, we'd love to help you. And also you can join the community. I think community is the most healing because, before I spoke out, not many spoke out. This one lady, Bree Dressen, who's one of the co-chairs of React 19, she saved my life by just speaking out. It was profound to me that I didn't feel alone. So I think it's just important that we all know that this isn't rare and there's a lot of us, and, reach out if you need something. And I think a lot of times one of the options, I think in Canada, especially when you're vaccine injured, is assisted suicide. And what I ask the people out there is, do not take that choice, because if you allow that to happen, you're letting them win. And it is, that's not fair. And we are stronger in numbers, and it's just not an option. So keep fighting. I do believe that I'm recovering and will fully recover. So it's not doom and gloom. Things are going to get better.
Yeah. Always. There's always a solution to a problem. We live in a polar universe, right? Good, bad, light, dark, yin, yang. When you're hurt, there's always another side. Always. You just have to, find it. And unfortunately, it's not easy to find the other side. You have to dig kind of way deeper to find it. So all those links, guys, will be in the description. Like I said, and let me know, please. How can I support? I'll join the community, whatever you need me to do, because this is like, look, girl, you got a soldier, okay? I'm not okay with this, okay?
I love it. No. You even having me on your show and just reaching out, and because you get to a place where you're kind of ostracized from society and people don't want, this means a lot to me, and I'm never going to forget this ever. And you being you and trying to flip the collective is helping. And I just appreciate the platform to speak my truth. So God bless you, sweetheart.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you so much. And thank you again. It was such an honor, such a freaking honor. And just stay in touch with me, whatever you need. Like I said, I'm here to support. And
like, oh, you're my new friend.
Thank you so much for everything that you do and for speaking out and just being who you are. Seriously, what an amazing story. Like I said, I didn't even do no research. Like I wanted to hear it straight here. So that's your reactions. I'm like, yo, what's going on? So anyways, I gotta go like in a corner and think for the next 5 hours. Sometimes these podcasts do this to me. I'm like, oh my God, I gotta go. I just gotta process. Seriously. Well, thank you so much, Jessica. I appreciate you so much. Thank you.
God bless, honey. Bye, you guys.
All right. Till next time, guys. This was another episode of Unlimited. Woo!
This podcast is for informational and entertainment purposes only. The views expressed are those of the hosts and guests and don't necessarily reflect those of the producers or affiliates. We do not guarantee the accuracy of the content. Please verify information and seek professional advice when needed. By listening, you agree not to hold us liable for any actions taken based on this content. Thank you for joining us on this journey. We hope you enjoy the episodes ahead.
Before we wrap, if you're done living in loop mode, the addictions, the emotional swings, the stuck seasons, start with a tool that actually shifts your state. Go to unlimitedmeditationpack.com and download the free pack I created. It's 5 targeted meditations with theta entrainment frequencies that drop you into the zone where real subconscious reprogramming happens. These sessions calm your system, clear the old patterns, and open you up to better health, better connections, more clarity, and a life that finally moves. Start there. UnlimitedMeditationPack.com.